Hello, everybody, and welcome to Airport Sim. Yes, we are going to be jumping into a new game on the channel. This is Airport Sim, just released not too long ago, actually. And I picked it up, I think it was like the day after it released. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I will say, if you're not familiar with this game, which I'm going to assume most of you on my channel are not, because primarily, farm sim and all that. But trying to branch out a little bit, put a little bit of variety in there. Anyways, that's besides the point. But if you're not familiar with this game, it is available on Steam, by the way. I believe only on Steam. I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, uh, this game kind of throws you into things without any like hand holding at all. So what you want to do when you start this game, do not skip the tutorials. I highly, highly, highly recommend you go through all of the tutorials, because if you just try to jump into a game, you you will most likely not have any clue on what to do on the controls or anything like that, and things can get kind of frustrating. So definitely go through all of the tutorials. It's going to show you all the stuff on the tablet, how to get an aircraft to follow you. So basically, like sometimes a pilot will land at an airport that they're not familiar with, so they have these vehicles, these escort vehicles that will guide the plane through the taxis to their gate. So then marshaling. So you're going to actually be able to, guide the plane in to its gate. Excuse me. Chocks and cones. You're going to be able to place the safety cones out and chock the wheels of the plane. Then you have the GPU, which is a ground power unit. So, yeah, that basically gives the plane power so they can shut down their APU. Passenger stairs. This is for the planes that do not go to a gate with a jetway. If you don't know what a jetway is, I'll explain that here in just a second. So it tells you how to connect this properly to the plane. You have catering to, depending on how long a flight is, sometimes it will request to refill the catering. Then you have shuttle buses that will, so again, for the planes that do not have jetways, sometimes you may need to pull up the shuttle bus next to the plane and have them load onto the bus, and then you take them to the terminal. Jetway, so this right here is the jetway. And if you've ever flown on a plane, this is the tunnel that you walk through to get onto the plane. So it shows you how to run this thing, and this right here is a perfect example of why you should definitely do the tutorials, because the controls on these jetways are kind of like, all over the place. Tells you how to take care of luggage on a 737 as well as an A320. And then fueling the 737 and the A320. And then you have your pushback and walk around, or as this says, the wall around. Maybe just a typo or something there. I'm sure that will get fixed eventually in an update. As you can see, this is build version 1.1.0. So this game was released for like testing and stuff like that a while back. And this is the full release, or early access rather. So yeah, definitely go through the tutorials. Take the time to do that. Learn the controls. Learn how to do all this stuff, because once you get into the game, it's not going to tell you how to do any of it. So yeah, I have done quite a few things already. I've gone through all of the Key West stuff, just kind of getting the hang of the game and all of that stuff. You can see my scores down here. The scores is kind of like too arcadey for me. For my simulators, I like things to be realistic. They're not going to be scoring me in real life. Just saying. But I get it, So yeah, I've done the Key West stuff, which I will do again in this series. Just because this is like a super easy, chill airport to start with. So then you have Keflavik, which is, I believe, in Greenland? Iceland. I know it was one of those lands. So I've done the early arrivals and I have not done anything else. The nighttime missions, I will say this, are kind of hard to play because things are extremely dark. And if you have to guide a plane in on the taxiways up to the gate, it can be kind of frustrating because you don't know where they're at. You can't see anything. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll be showing the night missions or night scenarios in this series just for recording purposes and viewing purposes. So you have Vagar, which is... Where is this one? British Army... Royal Engineers of the British Army. It is the only airport on the Faroe Islands. So that's where that one's at. Then you have different scenarios within. You have 5 scenarios within all of these. Then you have Warsaw. Warsaw is in Poland, which is funny enough because we are doing a farm sim series on a Polish map. So maybe we start with this one. I don't know. This one has jetways and whatnot. This might be a fun one to do. Late evening landings. The clock approaches 10 p.m., so that's a nighttime one. In the midst of the midday rain, step into the role of the skilled ground handler overseeing a trio of flights. So midday rush hour might be kind of fun. Pushback duty. So this appears to be in the morning, 6:35. This is 7 o'clock. Qualifier match. What is that? Handling the arrivals of the aircraft with football team of the Faroe Islands, who are arriving for a qualifying match for the European Championship against the Polish team. Go Polish team, whatever the Polish team is. Yeah. Warsaw Fake Sumi. What is that? The Fake Foreign Affairs Key Exchange Summit in Warsaw is a highly anticipated diplomatic event that brought together high-ranking government officials from Poland, the United States, Germany, the Czech Republic. Is it Czech or Czech Republic? I think it's Czech or Czech. It's Czech, isn't it? I believe yes. Anyways, and the Ukraine. So that one's at 8:20 in the morning. So that one might be good to play. So it looks like this one is the only one that might be a out of the question for recording. Yeah. So yeah, that just to give you an idea of what some of those missions are. Now I know this video hasn't gotten into any gameplay yet, just kind of explaining what the game is. Don't you worry, we're gonna jump right into a mission here in just a second, and I do believe we are gonna go with the Key West. So you can see this one is at 2300 hours, which is 11 o'clock if you're not familiar with military time. This one is at 1500, which is 3 o'clock, so that one wouldn't be too bad. Handle government flight into Key West Airport. So this one might actually be a good short one, because I think I do remember seeing this, or I do remember playing this one. It's a fairly small mission, so let's go ahead and jump into this one. Enough talking, enough chitter chatter. Okay, you didn't come here for chit chat and conversation. You came here for some gameplay. All right, let's go ahead and jump in, hit the play button, and yeah. So cool thing about this is, okay, yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna be playing in a black screen, but oh my lag. Okay, there we go. So just be aware this is still early access, so there may still be some flaws and whatnot with certain things. So you can see down there in the bottom right-hand corner, it says headphones on or off, and you press the H key, and that basically applies noise-canceling headphones like you would see, the grounds crew and whatnot wearing. And I feel like I can hear the plane coming in right now. Where is it? There it is. There it is right there. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be. I mean, I could always edit it in, editing and all that. So yeah. So what we need to do is go ahead and hit the tab button to pull up our operations. So if we look at Washington D.C., we have an 11:05 arrival. That is the one that just showed up. So landing at 11:05, they're a little bit early. So we're going to clear the area for marshaling. And then we also have another flight that is departing, going to Alaska. Service starts at 11:10, departure at 11:40 a.m. And then we also have to prepare the government flight to Washington, D.C. to depart out of Key West, heading to D.C. At 12 p.m. So there's a lot to do. Let's go ahead and jump on in and start with clear area for marshaling. Clear area from vehicles and cones. So this is going to be going to gate 5. So if we look at the map, you can see we are basically here at gate 5. You can see the plane coming in right there. They're going to be coming in, so we have to marshal the plane into number 5, which is what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and hit that. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Is this number 5? The only thing I don't like about the Key West airport is that it doesn't give you numbers. So I don't know if... I'm pretty sure this is 5 right here. If we pull up our map, we can see, yes, we are in front of 5. So once it gets close enough, as you can see, the area is already clear of items and whatnot. I'm actually going to go into here real quick, and let's crank down this mouse sensitivity a little bit, because I feel like that might be a little bit too intense and nauseous. That's a little better. That's a little better. All right. So the plane is coming in. He's going to get positioned, and I believe we are going to have to marshal this one in. Yep, there we go. So you walk up to the marker, and you're going to press Y on your keyboard. Now, you can also use a controller for this. So yes, you use your mouse, left click, right click to guide the plane. Oh, I'm sorry, just kidding. It's WASD is gonna be your keys. So you want to get this thing lined up as best you can to the gate. So we're gonna let it center up on those back wheels, and then have them turn in like so. And then we're gonna go ahead and have him start to slow down. Went past the line just a little bit, so it's not super accurate, but that's okay. There we go. Now he's going to start the engine shutdown process, and we're going to sit here and hold the wand until it is safe to start approaching the plane. Now, there are ways that you should be doing this, like, you know, as far as realism and proper safety techniques and whatnot. We're not going to do all that because, you know, whatever. It's just a video game, and I want to play. I don't have to do all that. So you can pick up 6 cones at a time, and you're going to place them down in the areas that it is marked for you. There we go. We're going to go one in front of the engine, one at the wing, one behind the engines on both sides of the aircraft. And you can see that we are, looks like we have just enough, just enough cones. And if you pull up your tablet here, if you click on this, and then you actually click on the task, it will place that task over here and show you what all you need to do, so you can kind of keep track of what's going on. So next we need to come over here and pick up the wheel chocks. We're going to go ahead and place down the front wheel chock. Go ahead and place down the rear ones, and then there's one last thing that we need to do. You can see it says insert bypass pin, and what that is it's going to be up here at the front of the plane, right there. You might see like old pictures of World War II bomber planes or something with that big red tag hanging out of the front. You know, that's basically what that is. So now we're going to signal the flight crew, or we're going to connect the GPU first, sorry. We're not going to signal them to shut down their APU. Now, there are 2 types of APUs. To be honest with you, I prefer the older boxy style over the modern style. Now, there are some benefits to using the more modern style. You don't have to, you know, wait as long for it to crank up or anything. So yeah, hop into the vehicle, get it started, and you can even turn on the beacons. Now, being daylight, it's going to be a little hard to see, but that's okay. And then you can do outside view or inside view. I actually prefer, I found that the outside view is much easier to work with in this game, just because the FOV and stuff, just, I mean, it's not bad, but, you know, would be nice to have some mirrors and some helping, you know, things going on. So we're going to take this over to the aircraft, and, you know, there's certain areas that you have to drive in on a real, you know, airport and whatnot, but we're not even going to really worry about that. So the best thing to do with this is to come to the wing, head towards the engine, and then place it just on the other side of this red and white lined area. And what that will do is position it to where it's in a great spot to be out of your way for the cargo stuff. So you come over here to this little section right here. Boom. That is that. So we're going to open this up, and then we are going to turn on the engine power. We're going to hold the engine start for a few seconds. Now you can see a countdown happening up here. Before you switch it to run and DC output, you need to let that timer run out. So typically I'll just come over here, grab the cable, and let the countdown finish. 0. There we go. Go ahead and connect it to the plane. Come over here, hit run, and then DC output. And now we are connected to the plane with the GPU. Now you come over here, you hit 1 on your keyboard, you head over here to flight deck, and then you're going to go to APU and turn off APU. Now you're telling them to turn that off. If you go to the back of the plane, you can actually hear the APU shutting down. It's pretty cool. But for recording purposes, I'm going to leave the headphones on and maybe crank up the sounds for you in editing if I need to. So connect stair car to the airplane. So as you can see right now, if we pull up our tablet, it is 11:08. We have 11:10 service start for the departing Alaska flight. So we need to be mindful of that. Now, this is multiplayer, and you can have friends come in and make it a little bit easier for you if you wish. So just beware that playing this by yourself, you can get quite behind on a lot of these scenarios, but, you know, it's fun. It's fun. You're not going to get, like, you know, you're not going to fail the mission or anything like that. And there's also a free play. So what we want to do here is we don't want to get too close to the plane. We're going to go ahead and raise this up like so. And if we go into the cockpit here, change our camera view, you can see these two lights down here, red and green. Once you get the green flashing light, you are positioned correctly to connect the door. You can see we just had the light there. There it is. And then we need to drop the stabilizing feet. So if we hit Y, those will come down, and then we hit enter to connect to the aircraft. Now there's one last step that we got to do, and that is come up here. We need to close these guardrails, or actually, sorry, we need to open the door first. And no, you cannot go inside of the plane, which is kind of unfortunate. That would have been kind of cool. So yes, now we extend those, and it is now connected. Load out passengers from aircraft 54. So that is going to take a little while. Now, what we can do is actually move ahead to the next step, which is going to be refuel the airplane, and then wait for service at 11:30. But I think what we will do is actually, you know what, let's go ahead and move our fuel truck into position. And if we look on our map, you can see that, and fast travel over to it. Very nice. Then we'll get out and take a little peeky poo at our fuel truck. And again, in the tutorial, it'll show you how to use all of this stuff. This may be a little bit of a long video, hopefully not super duper long. You know, this is a shorter mission. So with the fuel, you're going to be fueling on the right side of the aircraft. So I like to come out to about this point right here, and then leave the truck running. hop on out of there. Go ahead and open up your panel. Now you have a bunch of stuff happening over here. We're going to grab our grounding wire. And if we were to wait for it to give us the prompt to do all this, actually we probably should, because I have noticed sometimes that it does not complete the task for you if you do it ahead of time. So we're just going to leave that truck there. And what we can do is actually go to our operations. We take a look at our Alaska flight. The service has started. So deliver meals to stand number 1 Alaska flight. So our catering truck is going to be over where our fuel truck was. Go ahead and hop into this. And there are 2 government planes here, which is kind of strange. I don't remember seeing that last time. So this Alaska flight over here is going to be the one, and you can see it is advertising Alaska Road Truckers, which I do have that game, and I may or may not upload videos of it. I don't know yet. It would be kind of fun to do. Yeah, so catering is going to be loaded at this back door here on the right side of the aircraft, and again, same thing with connecting the stairs. You need to get it positioned correctly. So if we go ahead and just pull forward, just a smidge, right? Then we go ahead and drop our stabilizers. Go ahead and do that right there. And let's see if that will let us connect. There we go. So it is connecting. Now it is loading the plane with the catering, and then we will have to disconnect all of that. So we can actually get out of that plane, and I believe our other aircraft has finished. That is correct. So now we are going to fast travel on over to our stair truck. That'll bring us back over here. We could have actually just gone to our fuel truck. Oh, I need to be a little bit closer. Just a smidge closer. So yeah, as you can see, the mirrors are absolute garbage. So outside view is much, much better. But just for moving it like this, it will be fine. So we can get out of the truck. We'll go ahead and open this up. We'll grab our grounding wire. And you can see it wants us to connect it to the rear wheel landing gear of the aircraft. Go ahead and drop that on there. And then what we need to do is come over here to the fuel panel. Open that up. We're going to go ahead and grab our fuel hose. Now, it is important to know that you walk slower with hoses and wires in your hands, and you cannot sprint. So we're going to connect that up. So it wants a total of 26,450 pounds of fuel. Now you can change the units of measurement, if you will, to whatever you prefer. So what we want to do with this aircraft is we have 3 different sections to fuel. You have your left wing, your right wing, and your center tank. All right, so you got your tank 2, center, tank 1, left, center, right. All right. With this one, it's a little bit simpler of a deal. We need to actually get a calculator out. That is calculator for normal people. And we are going to divide 26,450 by 3. So that is going to be 8,816 pounds of fuel per tank. Now, I know already that these tanks, I believe, do not hold that much. I think they only hold up to like 7,000 something on the 2 wings. So what you do is you just crank these all the way up to as high as they go. You just click the side to go ahead and run that number, all the way up. 8,816. So 8,598 is as high as those will go. So take 8,598 times that by 2. That is 17,196. And then you go 26,450 minus 17,196. And that gives you a remaining requested amount of 9,254. the center tank can hold significantly more fuel. So go ahead and put the rest of it into the central tank. This will balance out the center of gravity of the aircraft. This is how things are done in real life, as far as I am aware. And you can see the numbers go up quite quick, so it's not too bad. So we'll go ahead and get this up to the requested amount, 9,254, so 259. We'll go ahead and go with that. Alright, so now what we need to do is go ahead and flip these two first. And then we're going to exit out of the fuel panel. We're going to come over here to our truck, and we're going to click and drag this lever all the way down. Excuse me, all the way down. Thank you. And now you can come back over here to the panel and see that it is going to load it up to that requested amount. So you never have to worry about overfilling a plane. It's great. I love it. So, yeah, and you can see it fills up quite quick. So, then, what you can do is, as soon as these are done, which they are almost, 8,598. There we go. Feel like I'm on the Price is Right. We'll go ahead and shut those two tanks off and turn the central one on, and that is going to fill it up to the remainder 9,259 pounds of fuel. And then once that's done, we can go ahead and disconnect everything. Always make sure that your switches are off and your panel is closed when you are done. You do not want to leave any doors or panels or anything open on these aircraft when you go to send it off if you're worried about points and whatnot and realism and all that. You can see up here in the top right corner, you can see your score. Right now I'm at 180. Again, I don't really care about the score because I play these simulators for fantasizing, I guess, of doing the real thing in real life, right? So, I like it to be more realistic than arcadey. Or arcadic. Is it arcadey or arcadic? I don't know. Maybe I just invented a word. I should call Webster's Dictionary. Some of you younger folks probably don't even know what a Webster's Dictionary is, which it really showed my age. I should stop talking about old things because it makes me feel sad. I'm just trying to fill some dead space here. I could just cut all this out, but I think I'm just going to leave it in. I'm just going to leave it in. We're almost there anyways. 9,000. Now, you could be doing other things on the side, but, with this, I want to show you guys the full experience. Typically, I'll just, handle one task at a time. Alright, there we go. So we go ahead and shut that switch off. We have our requested 26,450 pounds. Perfecto. Now you want to come back over here to your truck. After you switch all those switches off, go ahead and flip that lever all the way back over. And then you can come over and... Fuel pump must be disabled. Excuse me. There we go. Sometimes it can be a little finicky. So you go ahead and pull the hose off. Hang that back up. And before we forget, we go ahead and close up our fuel panel. And we will remove our ground wire. And you can see we move extremely slow. And then we will hang that back up. We go ahead and close this because we do not need it. And we will go ahead and actually move this out of the way of the aircraft. Just off to the side over here. And actually, we're going to need this this baggage area, so I'm going to back this up. Put it in reverse Terry. And we will just drag this on over here to about right there. We'll go ahead and leave it running, just in case the other flight needs it. So next step is going to be to confirm the task. So the same way you instructed them to shut down the APU, you hit 1 on your keyboard, go to flight deck, and then fuel and confirm fuel. So wait for service to start at 11:30. What time is it right now? 11:20. So we have 10 minutes to kill. Let's head on over here to our Alaska flight. And we'll go ahead and jump on into our catering truck because this has finished. So we'll go ahead and hit enter to disconnect. We'll go ahead and bring it down and lift up our stabilizing arms, and we will move the vehicle away from the aircraft and drive into the grass because FFA regulations can shove it. Yeah, not really. They're in place for a reason. They keep us safe, supposedly, right? Anyways, so yeah, we can go ahead and get this. Oh god, we're gonna hit the wall. Don't worry about that. Nothing happened. Stop asking questions. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and hop out, just park that like nothing ever happened. So load in passengers to the aircraft. So we're gonna need another stair truck. So we'll come over here to this guy. Go ahead and get it started up. Go to our outside cam. So sometimes I'll go ahead and just prepare the vehicle and lift up the stairs. Oh no, this is the wrong aircraft. What am I doing? What am I doing? What a bozo. What a noob. Such a noob. I'm unsubscribing. Because I've never gotten a comment like that before. Totally unsubbing from you, dude. You suck. Alright. There we go, and as you can see, that is actually at the perfect height, and you can actually, from the outside view, you can look just inside the window and see the light is blinking. So we're going to drop down our stabilizing legs, hit enter to connect, go ahead and hop on out of the vehicle, get the door opened up, and you have to wait for the animation to finish, and then we're going to drag our safety rails into place. Alright, so we're going to load the passengers on into the aircraft, and we are looking at 11:23, not too bad. So if we go to our next task is going to be the load passengers in for the DC flight at 11:30, and then we can disconnect the stairs, disconnect GPU, remove cones and chocks, and check the airplane, and then wait for pushback clearance and push back from stand number 5. So there's no baggage at all to worry about on that bad mammer jammer. So we are going to be loading luggage into this guy, which it is signaling that we can do that now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hop into our map, and let's see, we have some luggage carts and tugs over here. We'll go ahead and hop into this guy right here, and get it fired up. Guys, I just worked a long shift, and I got off at like 11 o'clock. I'm currently recording this at 1:06 in the morning. Alright, why am I backing up to an APU? See what I'm saying? I am loopy right now, and I should not be recording. But I'm going to do it anyways, because content, right? So, yeah. Back up to the baggage carts. Now, if you're familiar with AirportSim and backing these, trailers with the axles on it and whatnot, then this should be no problem for you, but I am absolutely terrible at it. But surprisingly, these handle much better than the ones in AirportSim. So, we want to go ahead and hook up to, so it's actually load luggage to forward cargo and rear and aft cargo. Sorry, use proper terminology. And it's only 6 bags total, so we could fit all of that onto this guy. And actually, before we do that, I'm going to give you guys a little pointer. Alright? Come on over here to the luggage unload area. Find it at whatever airport you are playing on, and get these blue tarps. I don't know why I just picked up 2, but I did. Now, this setup over here is actually placed perfectly to back into it and connect to double carts, but we don't necessarily need that for this one. So you can come over here and put the tarp down. Alright, and then you will close one side, And that will help keep your luggage inside the cart as you are driving it. Once we load it up, we will drop that other side. Now you can also drop this railing to make it a little bit easier for stacking. So I will show you the luggage. Now load luggage. Load luggage. Alright, let's hop out and we're going to come over to the load luggage area. And look at those people hanging out on top of... Oh, is that a balcony up there? I don't know. They don't look like they should be up there. They look like weirdos. Alright, so you come over to the load luggage area. You could do this at... Oh, sweet Betty White. This is the unload area. What a bozo. What a noob. Unsubscribe. Alright. So we'll head back over here to the luggage retrieval area where we were originally already at, and we will hopefully not hit anything on our way in, and we'll just park this thing right there. There we go. We're going to go ahead and grab the luggage from this guy. And, yeah, you could drop the railings down if you want, but I don't feel like we need to for this one. It's only 6 bags. Now, if you hold left click, you can throw the luggage, but be careful because the luggage will bust open and you will see items from inside the luggage. That's including underwear. I probably just got demonetized. Anyways. There we go. So you got a mixture of soft bags and hard case luggage right there. So we got 3 of each on this particular flight, which is fantastic. All right, so if we drop that cover, now no luggage will fall out of your cart. Now you can go ahead and disable that, but usually when I have multiple flights, I will leave the conveyor belts on both the load and unload areas. That way I don't have to keep turning them on or off. Actually, the luggage retrieval area, it's probably best to turn those off because the luggage will start to come out of the conveyor for multiple flights, and that could be a disaster. So, you know, you've been warned. Anyways. Alright, let's get this thing over to the aircraft and load up some luggage. Don't drive under the wing, oh my god. FFA regulations. Or is it FFA? FAA. FAA. Did I say FFA earlier too? What a bozo. Now, you can see that I have forgotten one crucial piece of equipment. And that is the conveyor belt to load the luggage. So, we need this guy right here. Perfecto. We'll go ahead and get this thing to raise up. There we go. And, yep, we'll get it turned on with Y, and then T will change the direction of the conveyor belt. Obviously for loading and unloading differences. We also need to get the luggage doors open, which we are going to do that here in just a second because it is prompting us to close the aircraft door at this time. Now, a lot of this I could cut out, right? But I want to give you guys the full experience of one of these scenarios. And this is one of the shorter ones. Probably the shortest one. Maybe. Could be wrong because I haven't played all of them. So, yeah, you slide the guardrails out of the way, you close the door, you hop into this thing, you hit enter to disconnect, and then you hit Y to raise your stabilizing feet. Then you back it away, and I like to just go ahead and return the stairs to the lowered position, just because, right? Alright, now it is prompting us to take care of luggage. As you can see, we have already completed 2 of those tasks, and that is request the luggage, as well as take luggage from luggage room. As you can see, running is extremely slow. This is full sprint, so fast traveling, teleporting to vehicles and stuff is going to be your best friend on a busier scenario than this guy right here. If we take a look at, okay, 11:31. Let's go ahead and, because this flight is scheduled to depart at 11:40. The other one does not depart until 12 o'clock, so we should be fine. Let's go ahead and take care of this one. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this thing lined up with the aft area, and actually we should be loading at the front of the aircraft first, and then the rear. But since we are already here with this, actually we need to go ahead and grab another conveyor belt. For show. Anyways, I like to run 2 conveyor belts on an aircraft. Just makes things easier. So you can hop on out of there and head to your map and grab another conveyor belt. You can see all the passengers are loading onto that guy right now, which is fantastic. We'll go ahead and turn on the conveyor belt. Get the direction swapped. Oh my god, we almost took out some cones. Don't ask questions. And we'll get this over to the front cargo door. This video is already at 41 minutes of recording. Like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I want to give you guys the full experience here. Full experience. Alright, we'll go ahead and get that opened up. And then, I hate that it defaults you back to the interior view. I wish it would, remember your selection and save it. We'll go ahead and get this thing lined up with this aircraft cargo door. Perfect. Alright, so we can leave those running. Then we'll go ahead and grab our luggage. That's a word. Luggage cart. Now, you don't want to pull up super close. Now, so realistically, you would not drive under the wing. So what I like to do is swing it and then pull it next to the wing like this. If you want to do it realistically. Totally up to you. Alright, so in the back, I think we're going to go ahead and actually, I did not say to close that door, sir. You open back up. And then you just drop the luggage onto the conveyor belt. This is where multiplayer comes in handy, real nice. And then you can place the luggage into the aircraft cargo holding area. And you can take the time to stack all this stuff neatly if you want. But this video is running on pretty long, and I don't want to make it too much longer. So we'll go ahead and speed up the process of all this stuff here. And not worry about perfect stacking. Alright, so we'll come around the wing, and then we will pull up next to this belt right here. Again, you don't want to pull up too close. You want to give yourself some room to work. Oh, sweet. Oh, behave. There we go. Alright. Go ahead and drop these baggages, luggages, suitcases onto the conveyor belt. Perfecto. We'll go ahead and crouch to get... Oh god, can I not get in here? Can I not get in here? Alright, we're throwing it. We are throwing him into the aircraft. So, that right there is just a matter of me setting the conveyor belt too high. Oh, that opened up. Did I lose any items? I feel like I may have lost some items. I don't know. I don't know how that busted open, but it did. Alright, there we go. We're going to go ahead and drop this baggage on in. Perfecto mundo. Alright. I don't know why that piece of luggage is acting very strange. So we'll go ahead and close the door. Realistically, you would move the conveyor belts away from the doors. but we're going to go ahead and do that. So as you can tell, they are starting up the APU at this moment. So we're going to go ahead and pull the vehicles out of the way, because that aircraft is actually going to take care of itself once we remove the cones and all that stuff. So instead of walking all the way back over there, we'll go ahead and jump to this other conveyor belt. We'll get our luggage cart out of the way. We did not actually have to hook up an AP or a GPU to that aircraft, which is kind of strange, because typically you would, right? Unless they just had enough battery power to go ahead and crank the APU on their own. I don't know. Alright, so we'll go ahead and fast travel on over to our luggage conveyor belt. Go ahead and turn that off. There we go. Get it all reset back to its default position. And we're just going to pull this one over here. That way we don't have to walk as far. So we're going to go ahead and clear the vehicle area. We'll take the wheel chocks first. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and just start to pick up our cones. We got 2 at the engines, 1 at the wingtips on each side of these aircrafts. There we go. There's 1 out here in the grass trying to hide. Can't hide from me. There we go. And then we can set down the entire stack. Like so. Alright, we're going to remove the bypass pin at this point. Boom, there we go. Now it gives us the prompt to check the aircraft. So you come to these highlighted areas, hold down the left mouse button, and this is your time to check for any open doors or anything like that. You can see there's a thing that says manage unexpected tasks, and that is if you have left open a door or something. So I just like to start at the nose of the aircraft and just kind of work my way around and check off all of these items. Boom, there we go. Then we'll check the landing gear. It looks good, Chief. And then we'll check the fuselage. Check the rear of the plane, the tail, if you will. There we go. Perfecto. And then we'll come over here. There's a couple of spots to check for this one. You check the landing gear. And then you're going to check that. And then you're going to check that area right there. That takes care of most of the wing. You come out here to the wingtip. Just like the other side, you can check the flaps and front of the wing. And all of that fun jazz. You can check the engine. And the fuselage once again. You're going to check the door. And then your front landing gear. And you can do that in whatever order you so desire. As far as I know, there are only 19 modules to check off. So now, same thing. Again, we're going to hit 1 on our keyboard. Come into our flight deck. Go to walk around. Confirm. Walk around. And now they're going to start to fire up their engine and get on out of here. Now we can move on to our DC flight. And we are going to fast travel over. Actually, we should probably get this out of the way. For that aircraft to easily maneuver on out of here. So we could drive this over, which I do believe we will. Even though we don't need it for that aircraft. We'll just drive it over. I feel like my graphics are a little off today. I don't know. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just park that thing right there. We'll come over here and take care of the door. We'll get the guardrails out of the way. Go ahead and shut that. And get down here. Wait for the door to close all the way. Perfect. Go ahead and disconnect and raise the stabilizing gear. Lower the stairs and get it out of the way. So go ahead and just drop this over here. You can see that yellow bar. We're going to be using that here in just a momento. So signal the flight crew to start their APU again. Number 1 on the keypad and or the keyboard. Go to flight deck, APU, turn on APU. Now we'll go back here to the back of the aircraft so you can hear this. So yeah, it gets very loud. I do prefer to play without the headphones enabled simply because it just adds to the immersion, right? So we're waiting for the APU to start, and then we're going to disconnect the APU, and I'll show you the process for that here in just a minute. You can see we are at 75%. I'm going to come on over here. I do like that all the gauges and everything work on this thing. Super duper cool. So we are at 95. There we go. Almost ready. 100%. So we're going to come over here. Exact reverse order. Click the DC output off. Switch run to idle. And then we're going to hit power off. Unless you are going to use this for another aircraft, then you could leave it on. So you do not have to wait for the oil warm up and engine warm up and all that stuff again. And then make sure we close our APU door, our power receptacle door. There we go. All right, next thing to do is to clear the area of vehicles and whatnot. So go ahead and hop into this thing and just get it pulled out of the way. We'll get it pulled over here. We'll be using a another tug here in just a little bit. There we go. All right, we're gonna clear the area for vehicles. We're gonna get the wheel chocks out of the aircraft like so, and then start picking up the cones. Again, 2 at the engines, 1 at the wingtip. And it's different for the A320 and 737. They are different. Boom, there we go. You can see we have all of our cones picked up. We'll go ahead and bring these on over to our storage area, like so. Now we do the same thing. We do our aircraft check. Gonna do our walk around. Go ahead and hit all of these points. There we go. Boom. Like so. Check the flaps. Perfecto. And we're just making sure no doors are open or anything like that. Like that right there. We did not open this door. So that is something that was done by the game. The door was open. So now you close it. Manage all unexpected events. We are now ticked up to 1. We managed 1 event. So we will check to make sure nothing else is out of place. Like so. And it's really just the cargo doors, the passenger loading door, and the fuel door, like this one right here. You saw me close this earlier. Again, we're going to go ahead and close that. Manage all unexpected tasks. Now up to 2. 2. Alright, perfect. And then obviously we want to make sure our APU door is closed, or our GPU door, rather. Check the landing gear. And there we go. 19 modules checked. And we are done. So we're going to leave the pin in there for now. And again, we're going to go ahead and go into flight deck, walk around, confirm walk around. Wait for pushback clearance. So while that is doing that, we're going to go ahead and get our pushback vehicle ready to roll. And that is positioned right over here. And we're going to drive this on over to the pushback bar. Now, there are two on this airport. There's one over there by the fuel truck, and there's one just over here by this stair truck. We'll go ahead and grab this bad mammer jammer like a so. And I like to just hook up to it from the back to make it easier, obviously, for pulling. And then some people like to turn around and push back the aircraft from the front of the pushback vehicle, but I just like to stick with the back. So you come over here, pump this up just a little bit. Doesn't need to be super high. About right there should be good. That actually might be a little bit too high. And then we're gonna bring this on over to the aircraft. We're gonna center it on up with the front landing gear of the aircraft. You can see I am terrible at backing. That's okay. We'll pull past it just a smidge. Then pull forward. That should give us a better position. You want it about right. Right there. And now we'll go ahead and we'll lower this down just a little bit like that. Is that not going to let me hook up? Okay, so I have to actually wait for the pushback clearance. So the other aircraft you can see has taken off. They are gone. And we are just about done with this scenario. Alright, so we are ready to roll. We'll go ahead and hook that up, and then we will come over here and we need to decompress all of that right there so it is free. You can hear the other aircraft is taking off at this point. Now, this gives us a green area back there for where we need to send this aircraft as far as the pushback request, so it can be a little finicky. There's the other aircraft taking off, heading off to Alaska. And then what you can also do is hit one over to flight deck, go to engines, and request them to turn on their engines. We're going to go ahead and push back a little bit more sharp than that. Now let's start to straighten it out a little bit. You want to do this very, very slowly. You know, just little adjustments here and there. Now, they say you should do it, you know, perfectly straight, but as long as it's in the green box, then you're fine. Because I don't do it perfect. That is for show. We can get it cranked over a little bit better. As you can see, they are starting the engines as requested. Once you are in the green area, you can stop, and the crew that are out there, this guy is going to come up here and pump the wheels back down. This guy has turbo walk. He's got a poop, so he's heading back into the airport. Definitely got that walking fast. I got a poop walk. You know what I mean? All right, so he's gonna come around to the other side, which I don't know why he couldn't just do it on that side. He's gonna spin around in a circle and disconnect us from the aircraft, and then we are going to get out of the way. Remove vehicles from area around the aircraft, like so. Get this parked right over here. Perfecto. All vehicles have been removed from the aircraft. Why is this? So he had to pull the pin, the bypass pin. He's giving them the wave. There we go. They were starting up the other engine all the way. And there we go. That is it. You can see it took us a total of 51 minutes and 31 seconds. We got a score of 838. We lost 140. Our score is 698. Our highest score is 705. I don't know what exactly I did different there, but whatever. I don't care about score. So I'll give you a little breakdown, and this episode has definitely reached the hour mark. And yeah, we'll head back to the main menu. And that is going to do it for this episode, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will be uploading more of this. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I'll show you some more stuff. Next episodes probably won't be as long. Actually, I can guarantee they won't be as long. I'll be cutting a lot of stuff out, since this episode really gave you the rundown of what this game is about. It's a lot of fun if you just want a chill game to relax and vibe to, and, you know, experience how aircraft are prepared for takeoff. So yeah, that is going to do it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for staying to the end. If you made it all the way to the end, you are amazing. I love your face. See you next time.